Next question, Jay. You are in Microsoft for a very, very long time. In fact, all honesty, I got hired in Microsoft because of you. And so my question to you is...
It was because of you. I was just only a referrer to you.
Oh, yes, I can say that, yeah. You referred me to Microsoft.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a disclaimer.
Yeah.
So what you look for when you are hiring somebody, and more than that, I would like to know one more thing. What you look, what is the red light you look for in a candidate which is a deal breaker?
So, I know it's an interesting question. I'll tell you something. Every interview, in an interview process is very interesting, right? Because you are evaluating X number of years of people's experience in an hour or 90 minutes or whatever it is. Okay, so that's why we try to make sure that the diverse opinions are taken into consideration. Earlier in my career, I used to be the first or second interviewer, and now people look to me to say yes to them so that everybody else can do this. So I used to see this terminology that if I said, so I quickly realized that when I said yes or no, the candidate was going in or not. Okay, then I started not giving my feedback immediately so that others also actually say something, because maybe I'm very opinionated in the way a particular idea or a particular code is written and everything. So for these interviews are very interesting, and I now do what they call the ASAP interviews, or if some senior person is coming, I do the earlier parts of the interviews too. For me, it is all about, I focus on what the person is talking about, his experience. I want to hear about successes and failures. Okay, what did the success do to you? What did the failure do to you? How did you build on top of the failures? What have you learned? You know what I mean?
Right.
And are they taking examples of their failure and the scars on the back, and what have they done differently? Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those are the things. As I told you, there are some people who are very good talking about these things. Some people are not. Okay, so I'm not telling that you need to make, a decision solely on, oh, this answer is not correct or whatever it is. Sometimes I hear this and I ask them, what else happened in the interview? One thing I would suggest is, I always give people that I'm talking to in the interview that, hey, I believe in selection game, I don't believe in elimination game. Don't think that if you said an answer, that answer is going to eliminate you from the loop or anything like that. I am trying to see what are the things that you have that I want you to select for. Okay. The reason why I'm telling this especially to you is because you asked, hey, is there any red flag that you eliminate the person, right?
Yeah, deal breaker.
Yeah, deal breaker. So instead of that, I think when people know, I have seen this. I've gone through some stressful interviews myself when I was going through the process, and I have put people through stress in the interview. So I had my fair shake of that too. But I have seen that the people perform much better when they have that, we are trying to see what good they have in them to make the selection. So that's what I tell them. So tell them, hey, don't worry about, sometimes I see some people, they spoil the first question in the coding and they keep thinking about it, and when they're leaving the interview, do you have any questions for me? They'll ask me, can I do that code again? And I said, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? I was just looking at how you're thinking about it. That question is not a deal breaker.
Right.
Okay.
Right,
so
right.
The moment you give that sense of satisfaction to the person, you know what I mean? That, hey, I'm trying to do a selection, then people try to tell all the things. And one question I always ask, hey, 1 hour is very short. At around 45 minutes or so, I say, is there something that I'm not asking that you're very good about that I've not asked?
Right.
Okay. And when the people say this, I say that, oh, that's fantastic. Thank you for telling me. We have an individual that you'll be talking later, or blah, blah, blah. That person is very good at this. He will focus on it. Thank you for letting me know. So in that way, the person knows that you have a genuine interest
Right.
in getting to know. Interview processes are very tricky. I'm telling you, I have the example, I have proud of hiring certain people in the company who did very well. I also have my fair shake. I was so excited about them in the interview, but actually when it comes to the real world, they did not fare that well. So I know, that's why it's a tricky question. I did not want to answer that, hey, I have the a silver bullet answer to this.
Right. No, I agree with you. Interviews are very tricky to judge somebody in an hour. It's very, very difficult.